All right, so I'm gonna screen share here and we are recording. Okay, guys see it all right? Good. Okay, challenge group post deconstructed. So I was talking about on our last team call about how one of our team members had said something about how they haven't done anything because they were afraid to make the initial post, that they would make a mistake, that they would do something wrong, right? And I think that, it kind of made me rethink back to when I first became a coach, because I remember that feeling all too well. I remember being afraid, like, first of all, what do I post about? That was what I struggled with most. I had no idea what to post about. And then what if I say the wrong thing? What if I post the wrong image? What if people are mean? Because they are, and that's how social media can be, and that's how even family can be sometimes, right? So it's one of those things that kind of it's, I don't want to say trial and error, because if there's no errors, you really just learn what to do. And I'm going to show you guys proof that I've been there and I've done it. But that's how we learn. And to stem back from that one person that said something, she actually made her first post, and I was like, what have you been waiting for? Like, yes, Raven, it was you. I didn't want to call you out and embarrass you, but she did great. She made her first post. I was like, oh my gosh, like, she killed it. Like, I don't know why she was so afraid, but I get it because I've been there, So I figured which I've had this call planned for like 3 weeks now. So I had to cancel last week with Wisdom Tooth, and the week before I was trying to work someone else to be a guest call. But so I had good plans for this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Just to kind of give you a breakdown of how to form posts and how to really make them catchy, right? And like get people to really be drawn into your posts. And I'm sorry if I slur and lisp a lot. Just a pre-warning. So the first things first is I really want to point out about how life-changing Beachbody has been for you, or for me, how much it's impacted my life. It would be a shame for me not to share that in my posts in a personal, really vulnerable way. Because if you're just posting join Beachbody, these shakes are amazing, and you're just sharing like generic things all the time, that gives people nothing to relate to you by. There's nothing valuable in that. Now, if you were to post something like, this time last year, I was wearing maternity jeans for 7 years. It had been my 7th year in a row wearing maternity jeans. And I was tired of getting up and getting dressed every morning because I was miserable with how I felt. I had no energy. Then I had tried everything. This is me, right? Like, I was in maternity pants for 5 months, well, 6 months. But I had tried in the fast past when I first started, I had tried everything. I had tried weight loss pills, weight loss shakes, starvation, coffee as my breakfast, lunch, and then pig out on dinner. Like, I literally tried so many things and nothing worked. And then I found Beachbody, and for me, it was my solution. It changed everything for me. And so they're just saying all that gave Beachbody this whole new meaning. Same with Shakeology, right? If you just posted, I love my cafe latte, that's great, but why? Okay, my whole life, me and my family struggle with digestive issues. Okay, it would take a week for me to go to the bathroom one time. Started Shakeology, I don't go a day without it. I poop every single day. TMI. But it's a real thing, right? And that really comes from the heart right now, because I was on pain medicine that stopped me up, and it was the worst thing in the whole world this week. So it's like one of those things that really makes you realize, how important it is and how valuable it is, because there's other people that struggle with that. My dad struggled with his whole life, started Shakeology, and was going every single day. Like, if you put a meaning to it, and it doesn't have to be related to poop, but when you put a meaning to it, it means so much to other people, and it shows value, and they can connect better with it. I'm not a salesman. I don't have a marketing degree. Most of us don't. Most of us don't want to be salesmen. So that's why sharing our journey in our life and our personal experiences and the feel, felt, found method is so important. And sometimes, if you're just strictly posting that kind of stuff, it comes across as icky and puts people off, or it can be annoying. Like, you ever get a message from someone where it's a direct invite to their product and there's nothing personal about it? There's like, They don't try to connect with you. They don't share why it's changed their life, anything, or they make a post that says, I'm trying to hit a quota by the end of the month. I need your help. Like, are you drawn to that? No. So it's really about providing value. And I always talk about how we're here to serve others and to give them things that are valuable and worth having in their life, because we all need that kind of support. So keep that in mind when you're forming your posts. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so obviously we have to share to invite. So the key is effectively sharing and getting others to commit to making a change is by tuning into your story. I say often, I'm like seeing all my spelling mistakes. People fall in love with you before they fall in love with your product. They're going to fall in love with your story. They're going to fall in love with your journey if you're posting about it, right? If you're not posting, they have no idea. But if you're posting about it and you're being vulnerable and you're sharing the triumphs and the struggles, they're going to fall in love with that before they're going to fall in love with Shakeology or T25 or Ultimate Portion Fix. It's really a matter of talking about it. A perfect example real quick, because I just did this before we got on the call. I know that Christina and Mary is doing the certification for Ultimate Portion Fix. One of the things she talks about is sharing like the meal plans and what they've done for you and how you felt about the containers when you first started them, because it shares to other people. It helps, because when I first started, I thought those containers are so little. Like, how am I going to be satisfied with those? And then I couldn't believe how much food I was getting. And I was like, how am I going to eat all this food? Okay, so other people probably have those thoughts too. So I posted them to my stories and like, oh crap, I always hate that you guys can't see these. So basically I posted a picture of our food in the containers. I don't know how good you guys can see those. And then I posted how I felt about them and how they changed everything for me. And then I posted them on a plate and how big it looks. It's like, it looks like big portions, right? And then I posted about how it saved me on my postpartum journey. It saved me before I became a mom and my results. And then I shared a little story at the end about breastfeeding and how people sometimes take it. I can't even think of the word I was using. But they think that they're going to lose their supply if they work out or eat healthy. And it's really just, they don't know. They're not fueling themselves enough. Your supply's not going to fall and drop for most people if you're eating enough. So anyways, you can watch my story or whatever. But it was to the point that I was relating to people that might have those same feelings that I had, and then showing them a solution to it and what it did for me. Visualizing a person before you were with Beachbody. What kind of person were you? Like, what made you finally do Beachbody? Form that into a post. Answer these questions, write them down, and then answer them to yourself, because those things, there's other people that think the same things about you. Maybe you didn't join because you didn't have the cost. You didn't have the funds to sign up. I know I didn't. It went on a credit card. So guess what? I've made posts about that. How did I make it work, and why did I make it work? And then what was the outcome, right? So that gives people a whole new perspective on, this girl's me and she made it work. This means I can too. So think about what grabbed your interest and grabbed your attention when you first became a coach, or when you first dove into anything Beachbody related. Okay. So yeah, so like at the end I was a girl, I was trying to be healthy. Like I ran all the time. I would run and then I'd fall off the wagon with my nutrition. And I was always all in or nothing. And so that's another thing I've really talked about a lot on my stories is how I was all in person. And that's kind of what screwed up my mindset with food, is I never felt like I could have that treat. Because if I did, it was a downward spiral. Like if I have one treat, well, I might as well enjoy the whole weekend, right? I'll start over again on Monday. That was my mindset all the time. So I've really been able to relate to a lot of people in that situation. But having, like, for example, Ultimate Portion Fix, it gives us a solution and structure and balance through our lifestyle of eating healthy. Okay. I think that's duplicated. Okay. 8 ingredients to construct a kick butt challenge group post. It should reflect your personality, your style, and your goals. So I write mine exactly how I talk to you in real life. Like if we were sitting here chatting like we are now, that's how I form my post because it should sound like me. And I like to start the first sentence as an attention grabber. So like this isn't a coach opportunity post or a challenge group post, but like a good example was I posted a post workout picture yesterday. You can't even see that. And I put pregnancy, ... And what is that going to do? That's going to attract all the moms. It's going to attract all the pregnant moms. And they're going to be like, okay, what's this about? Because they can relate. And they were tuned in. It wasn't no challenge group invite, but it was a workout post. And it got, engagement. So making it appealing just from the get-go. Speak from the heart. Share struggles that you have. Other people have struggles, and they like to feel like you are like them. Share your story to connect. Think about how a challenge group has helped you. Or if you don't have results yet, what are you most excited about? And this is really key for a lot of new coaches. Like, what are you most excited about diving into this? And I just tagged a couple of our newer coaches earlier this week because this is one thing that they had been posting about. They were vulnerable posts, but also they had made posts about why they were excited to get started on this journey. Raven and her post that she made was she was excited because her mom was joining her. I mean, that's huge. My mom joined me when I was pregnant with Cass, and it was like the happiest journey since my husband joined me in so long because I was so proud and I was so excited. And watching her results was more exciting than anything else. So, those are important things to post about. Appealing to the person you're trying to attract or would love to help. So if my customer that I want to attract, they're probably wanting to work on their tummy, their butt, their thighs, their postpartum, they want to get their mom bod back or their pre-pregnancy genes back. So it's very doubtful that I'm going to expect a man that's wanting to put on muscle to respond to that. So if I'm posting something like that, I don't expect men to respond. I'm posting about the things that I would relate to, that I would want to attract from other women. Does that make sense? Kind of confusing saying it out loud. It should be visually appealing. So a clear, bright image. I love Lightroom. Lightroom is a free app on your computer. It's called Lightroom CC. I'm going to see if I can show you guys what it looks like. This little thing here, okay? It's a free app. Snapseed is great too. Snapseed, you can brighten up your photos. You can add HDR, and it makes it really pretty. Lightroom CC, I go to Etsy and I buy a preset. You can get them for $4 or less. And that's how my pictures, if you go to my Instagram, you'll see a theme for each season. Like Christmas, I had a theme, fall, I had a theme. And I just buy a $2 or $3 filter. It's a filter, and I place it on my pictures, and it makes my Instagram more appealing or my pictures brighter and more crisp. But that adds, especially for Instagram. Facebook's not that big of a deal, but Instagram, it makes your page and your people that want to follow you, they follow you because of how great your content is and how appealing your pictures are. PicMonkey, Canva, I said Snapseed. I know Snapseed, I think that's Apple. I don't know if that's on Android. I think Lightroom is Android and Apple. Okay. Do not get salesy. So you can make collages as well, but I have on here do not get salesy or clutter up your pics because, for example, I made a post 6 years ago when I first became a coach. I know because it just popped up my time hop. I had a picture of me. Then it was a collage. It was a picture of me, sweaty selfie. Then a picture of the Insanity the Asylum graphic from Google. And then underneath was this Google graphic with a motivational quote. And it was just really tacky. People are going to be way more attracted to a selfie of me than they are this collage of Google images. So try to keep that in mind when you're putting together a collage if you do a collage. 5, showcasing your real results. Your own results is most effective, but you can use others. Just don't go to Google or whatever and type in Beachbody transformations. You want to use authentic. I like to grab some from either our team, our challengers, or you search right now. If you were to go to Facebook, you can search Ultimate Portion Fix. and it'll pull up tons of photos, and you'll see they might not have a lot of transformations right now. But another example would be if you search transform 20. And you could go to photos, and you'll see, like, it's kind of saturated now, but when it first came out, there's tons of transformations. And even still, right now, you could find tons of transformations, and you can use those because they're stories from people that shared them publicly so that you could share them. Or even if you went to the Ultimate Portion Fix page that Autumn has shared, you can share her results. I have found I'm trying to do a better job at posting my results more often, but on my Instagram, like every few lines or so, I have at least one transformation of mine. And the reason why is because when people go to your Instagram, they're scrolling. They're only going to scroll for like 2 scrolls to see if you're interesting or not. So you want to have at least one transformation of yourself that's going to show this is my journey and this is where I came from. Okay, number 6, break it up. Make it easier to read by creating short paragraphs. So you could use, I know Christina's really good at this too. If you look at our posts on our timeline, you'll see like it's just small chunks. Like if you ever go to someone's post and if it's like this long and there's no breakups, it's like, it's like overwhelming. But if it's all broke up, it's nice and easy and smooth to read through. I also put no hashtag grouping, and the reason why is I'm going to show you an example. It's so funny because this has been one thing that I knew I was guilty of, but when I see it through other people, I'm like, it's icky, right? Like, because what people do is they'll post on Instagram and they'll copy and paste, and all that paragraph of hashtags will go to their Facebook too. Here's an example. I went yesterday or the day before and looked at what I posted. Hi, baby. 6 years ago today, and I just happened to be one of those people that did that, right? Like I put all those hashtags, and that's not even a lot of hashtags. But I recommend not to do that because that kind of, first of all, Facebook will not share it in their algorithm the way you'd want it to. It's going to go down in the list and not be seen as much because of all those hashtags. And yeah, I know, I was ripped. Like, come on now. A sense of urgency. So I only have 3 spots available, or group starts April 1st. So we have limited time, limited spots, and having a call to action. If this interests you, if this seems like something you'd like, make sure you comment below or shoot me a message. Always have a call to action. And then I have a couple examples of like challenge group of results, but challenge group posts and how I broke up the paragraphs. I don't know if you guys can see my little cursor here where I'm circling stuff here, but you gotta say hi. Okay, so it's all chopped up, right? It's just small paragraphs. I have my enrollment is still open. Okay. Bye.
Say bye.
Bye. My enrollment is still open to join my next group. We're focused mainly on our nutrition and making healthy choices that are sustainable through life and balanced, as well as implementing 30-minute workouts per day. This sounds like something you'd like to be a part of. Act fast. Comment below or shoot me a message and I'll add you to our group. Okay, so a perfect example of what I was just going over. Here's another one. Drop your favorite emoji below if you'd like pointers in the right direction. So if you guys didn't see an Accelerate Empire, I think yesterday, maybe it was this morning or yesterday, I don't know. I had updated our document section with challenge group posts. So we have a document in the files section with tons of challenge group examples, how to form a challenge group post or coach opportunity post or whatever it is. These are in there along with many, many, many others. So you can check them out. So have fun with this. The best thing about this business that you are constantly learning and evolving. So don't worry about messing up. Posting is how we learn. Like I just showed you guys an example how I did the hashtag thing. I also made a post 6 years ago yesterday when I was making this, where I posted the Google graphic of insanity plyometric circuit. Like, really? Like, who's going to be attracted to some Google stock image? Like, it was a very tacky salesy post, but I didn't know any better. I was just winging it and going. I didn't have training. I didn't have a coach that taught me things. My coach quit, so I was just winging it. But I've come so far because I watched and saw what people like to see. You know, what kind of content they like to see from me, and I grew from it. So do not be afraid of what you're posting. And also, just for a quick plug-in, that's also why those documents are there. If you need a guide, if you need somewhere like, I don't even know where to start, go check out those challenge group examples, the sneak peek examples, just something to go through. We have scripts. If you're like, I know I need to reach out, I need to invite people, but I don't know how. We have scripts in the file section. It kind of gives you just something to go off. Like, it's not that hard to look at them like, oh, that was really easy. Like, all I have to do is, hey, how are you? Or, hey, I have a new group coming up. Like, you know, like I talk about it all the time. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of doing it. Sit down and form yourself an invite. What would you want someone to say to you to invite you to a challenge group or the coach opportunity? And type it out and see what you think. Send it to your coach. See what they think. And then shoot it as invites to so many people, whoever you want to invite. The main thing to remember is to be honest, be vulnerable, and share with no expectations. We are not salespeople. We know that. We're just here to provide value, to share lives, and to serve others, right? Like, just being there for them, to support them. Because if I had never had someone reach out to me, I wouldn't be going on this cruise tomorrow. I wouldn't be driving to Florida tomorrow to go on an all-expense-paid cruise. And we just booked our excursions this week that they also paid for. Like, I can't imagine if I'd have never had this opportunity. So keep that in mind. Like, when you're getting frustrated that people aren't responding, or that you have people not following through with their challenge packs they said they were going to order, remember why you're doing this. It's not because of the points. It's just to help people. It's to be there for them and be their support, and that's what we're doing. And for another thing to just throw in here, it's kind of off topic, but not. I was a Success Club 10 legend, which means you've hit Success Club 10 for at least 24 months in a row. And I was actually like right at 3 years in a row, and I let it go. And I let it go because I let myself get so stressed out about the number that it wasn't about the person. It wasn't about what they were doing to commit to their life. It became, I got to get that last challenge pack sold, and I was freaking out about the points. And that is not why I do this at all. It's not. And I needed to remind myself about that, and I needed to take a hard look at, if I lose Success Club 10, my streak, it's not that big of a deal. I'm still changing lives. I'm still making a difference. And so I let it go. And guess what? Ever since, I have hit Success Club 10, and I've not stressed out about it once. Yeah, 1 month I hit almost 50. And I wasn't, it's because my mind wasn't where it should have been. And what we do is providing value for people and helping people, not trying to get a certain amount of points. So try to remember that, and try not to get down when you're, having people that aren't following through, or people are ghosting you. It happens to all of us. We share because we're passionate. We share because we want to pay it forward. We share because we want to help. We share to provide value in people's lives and to serve. So that's all I had for tonight. I hope that was helpful for you guys with some tips. Don't forget about all our stuff in the file section, as well as our trainings. We have our Ultimate Portion Fix actual challenge. So Christina and I have been talking a lot about it. I've been doing everything I can to get the certification done. But what I did is I moved the people that actually followed through into a new group. And I have a lot of people that are supposed to be following through this week too. So some people are kind of behind. But the point is if they get through their modules and the trainings and everything before it starts on the 1st, then we're set. So I'm really trying hard to get that group going, and paying attention to a lot to that group. Christina's running her own really successful group with it too, which is really, really cool. And I just remembered I was supposed to start a group chat with Christina and Mary. If any of you want to help with the challenge group while we're gone, I really appreciate it. So it's not all on Christina and Mary. But because we're not going to have Wi-Fi at all. Like, it's going to be think we only have Wi-Fi when we're docked in Bahamas and then Haiti. That's it. So, but anyways, did you guys have any questions at all before I stop our recording? No? Okay.